Hello, welcome back to Benusushi Live Noding. In this episode, I'm going to share with you this node setup using Sverchok add-on that might be useful for you. I'm actually using this object ID Raycast node in Sverchok. This node is pretty interesting because it allows you to project any kind of vector positions or vector points into any kind of a mesh surface. So so let's have a look. So I started with this text object basically, and this text object is still a live text object, and I can change it at any time. But in order for this guy to work with object ID Raycast, is that we need to convert it to mesh first, because text object is not actually a mesh yet. We need to convert it into proper polygon mesh. So that's what I did next. I'm using Sverchok, just convert it into normal mesh, like so. And I'm using this for the object ID Raycast. This is called Alpha 0. And what am I raycasting is this bunch of points that's coming from plane MK2, but I could also use vector P. I believe this will also work. Let me save this real quick. Basically, we need to place it where this text object is. I can try pipe it in, so and kind of increasing the number of points. This vector P actually generates some kind of volume of points, 3D volume of points. And we need to make sure the X and the Y cover these text. It's like so. The Z, actually we don't need the Z. We're just gonna turn it into 1. And we can increase this size X and size Y. And you can see it's updating in real time. So that's kind of nice and actually pretty fast as well. We can randomize, and that's kind of more natural looking. I think the Z actually can be useful if I increase the Z, and we can get some kind of really nice looking volume there. I might actually keep that. So we don't need to use this plain MK2. This vector P is a lot faster. And here I'm actually have control over the position. The next thing I did was just pass in this vector volume into the origin, and this will raycast it into this text object. The directions is based on this guy, -1 in the Z, so it's -1 in the Z from top to bottom. And the output of this object ID Raycast, there's a success, hit point, normal hit phase index, but I'm interested in this success. So from this vector P data coming in, we can mask it using the success hit. So we can have two options, so I can hide this text object. So we can have this points that's outside of the text, or points that's actually inside of the text, sort of like the one that's raycasting on the mesh, or the one that's actually outside of the raycast. Okay, so once you have that, you can do anything. Basically, this is just an example. I'm using this vertical cylinder to instance over the points. You can actually make this kind of like a standing, a little bit like a grass or something. At this point, it's more like a little bit like particle instancing. So you just need to shade it. Ambient occlusion. So that's Yeah, that's one example right there. But I like it to be vertical. I actually saw similar artwork somewhere, and it's pretty graphic. It's quite nice to have this and being able to render it in 3D. So yeah, it's pretty simple. If I get rid of the randomizations, it's gonna look like this, which is pretty cool as well because this guy is 3D. And we can control the thickness, so that's a single cylinder. Increase it. Control this. So it's almost like a kind of like a design. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it for this live noding. It's pretty simple, pretty basic. So the whole setup is here with the text object. Currently, we need to always convert it into mesh before this object ID Raycast can understand it. But other than that, it's pretty simple and streamlined process. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully you like it. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.